Hello and welcome to BQ Prime. A very good afternoon to all the viewers. I am Hira Dadia. We have been talking to a couple of players as well, and this is on the back of the cabinet approval for the PM e-bus Seva. Now, this is for 10,000 electric buses that will be provided, and the scheme is expected to have a cost of around 57,613 crores. Now, one of the companies that could be a key beneficiary of this would be Switch Mobility, the EV arm of Ashok Leyland. Joining us on the show to discuss more in terms of what would this scheme mean for the industry and how does Ashok Leyland, Switch Mobility, the EV arm benefit, is Mahesh Babu, CEO at Switch Mobility. Mahesh, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Good afternoon.
Mahesh, my first question coming to you is overall your initial comments on the PM e-bus Seva that has been approved by the cabinet.
I think the scheme has been mostly welcomed by the auto industry and particularly the EV industry. So far, we have a FAME2 scheme in which we have about 4,000 buses running on electric across the country. It's mainly due to major cities these vehicles have been running. The unique portion of the PM e-bus Seva is that it's going to reach out to 169 cities across the country. The intention is to democratize sustainable mobility across the country, and it's a very welcome move. Government of India is giving about 20,000 crore, which will be run in a PPP model for running these e-buses in the cities and nook and corners of India. I think it's a very, very welcome move.
Right. So overall, currently, how does Switch Mobility stand to benefit out of this?
See, as Switch Mobility, we have about 750 buses across the world and about 500 plus buses in India, electric buses. We are the first one to launch India's first electric double-decker in the country. So we have many innovative and unique products on electric mobility, and we also have a company called Home Mobility, which will run on a pay-per-kilometer model in the group. So between us, I think we are very well poised to deploy these electric buses. Our buses are almost uptime is 98%. Most of the vehicles are 100% meeting schedule, and we are very closely working with STUs. We have our private bus operators. We are running for employee transport, and we are also running a premium bus service in Mumbai. So we are in multiple segments, and our products have been tested and proved with our technology. And this scheme is going to help us to take this technology across the country in a big scale.
Right. So currently, how many EV buses has Switch actually deployed on ground, and any state governments that you're working with?
See, we have about 550 buses already on road. We have 300 buses in Bangalore, electric buses, very successfully running. We have supplied we have started supplying the double-decker buses in Mumbai. We are running employee transport of about 100 buses. We are running a premium services with our partner in Chalo in Mumbai. So we have multiple deployment of our buses, close to about 550 plus vehicles on the road. As we speak, we have an order of another 1,000 plus buses in hand, and which will be supplying in the coming years. So we have a very healthy pipeline, and we are closely working with state governments, private entity players, technology partners who is doing mobility as service, and we have partnered with all of them to make sure that electric buses are deployed in multiple applications. Government of India have been doing a scheme through CSL on tendering. Last CSL we have won. We are going to supply about close to 1,000 buses to Delhi. And this new scheme will really help us to work closely on a PPP model with government as well as the stakeholders, which will be able to deploy across the country.
Right. So overall, in terms of the model that the government wants to adopt in this one, in the PM e-bus Seva scheme, they've said it's going to be a PPP model. What would that mean? What's your understanding?
So our understanding is it's going to be very similar to another GCC model. The details are awaited from the government. I'm sure an agency, both MHI and other government of India, will work on it with the stakeholders, industry like us. And we are happy to work on make a win-win proportions to run these buses in various STUs, state governments, as well as in the routes which are being identified. So on the PPP model, if you look at the supply we have done so far with Bangalore or Mumbai or any other Chandigarh or any other city which we have supplied so far, we take the operations of the vehicle and charge per kilometer basis to the customers, like state transport undertaking. And we have deployed the infrastructure like charging infrastructure in the depot. We maintain the depot. We maintain the buses, which is very well appreciated by the customers. And we make those buses run at a very optimum energy and drive cycle, and hence make it economically viable for us as well as for our customers.
Right. So currently, what's the capacity that Switch Mobility has?
Last year, we had a market share of 20% in the e-bus segment, and we are looking at increasing that in the coming years.
Right. No. So in terms of capacity, I mean, how much are you able to manufacture in a year, and what's the utilization currently?
So we have a capacity which is very flexible because we manufacture from the facilities of Ashok Leyland in Chennai. We can make about 2,500 buses per annum right now, and within a matter of 3 months to 6 months, we can increase the capacity to double. So we'll be able to easily make 5,000 plus buses in a 6 months time.
Right. And overall as well, in terms of the model that you have been working on, where it's pay per kilometer in some places as well, and not a outright buy, how does that model work?
See, there are two types of model, as you rightly said. One is some of them are outright buy. Some of the states buy them outright. In the PPP model, there is a tender in which we participate and we give the specification of the bus range, and we invest in infrastructure, drivers, everything, and we almost maintain a depot and run it for the STU. The collection is done by STU, and they give us per kilometer rate for us to do this operation. Similarly, for any private operations as well. So it's basically everything is under our control except the collection, which is done by the customers, and they pay us per kilometer, let's say 60, 65 rupees, depending upon the contract. And if there is a subsidy, then the number comes down, and that's how we are running so far.
Right. And overall, what's the kind of growth that you're looking at, Mahesh, from an overall business perspective?
See, I can give you the past. We had about 5 to 7% market share in 2022. In 23, we ended up with 20% market share. It's very, I would say that the CAGR expected growth of the EV industry in next 10 years is going to be about 45%. We want to be in the top 3. And you know that Ashok Leyland have been number 1 in the bus segment. So we have that advantage, and we believe Switch will be a major player in India on electric mobility as well.
Right. I think moving to EV also is a big step that the country is looking at, and companies like yours will be great beneficiaries as well. Thank you, Mahesh, so much for joining us on the show and sharing the views overall. And this is going to be an interesting move, not only from OEM perspectives, but a lot of your ancillary companies as well, who are, supplying to all of these EV makers, will be beneficiaries of these schemes that the government is coming up with. Thank you, Mahesh, so much for joining us on the show. Stay safe and speak to you soon again. So that's the management of Swift Mobility, the EV arm of Ashok Leyland, clearly indicating of what could be in store on the back of the cabinet approval for PM e-bus Sewa. That's all that we have on this session. Thanks for watching, and lots more lined up on the other side. Please stay tuned to BQ Prime.